Hello Stampers, I'm Kelly Acheson at stampabove.com. Today I have something very important to discuss with you. Politically correct scoring. Who knew it was that serious, right? Well, we're going to discuss which way you score and which way you fold. And then at the end of the video, I have a cute little project that I'm going to show you how to cut and score up so you can make one of your own. And right now, I have some wax paper. We're going to crumple that up and you'll see how that plays into scoring too. Let's get that camera turned around and get to work. This is our Simply Scored tool, and I know a lot of you already probably have this. If you love to make fun folds or just want to make scoring your cardstock easier, this board is fantastic. It has these little tabs that you can set at certain increments if you're going to be doing multiples of the same card. It's also got a stylus. Now the stylus has two different ends here. It has a larger ball and a smaller ball. The larger ball I like to use for more delicate paper like designer series paper, vellum. The smaller end I use for regular cardstock. I've got a piece of crumb cake cardstock here. This is just a half a sheet at 5.5 by 8.5. And I would like to score this in half so I can fold it to make my card. This wax paper comes into play because if you take this and rub it over your cardstock where you're going to be making score lines, and I'm just going to be scoring the middle, so I can just go like this, you're going to find that your stylus slides a lot nicer on your cardstock. So I just keep a piece of this in the drawer that's handy so I can grab it when I need it. To score a piece of card, or to score a card this size, we're going to score that at 4.25. Now, if I was going to cut a whole bunch of cards, I could take my little tab here and put that at 4.25, so I would know that's my 4.25 mark each time. I like to hold my stylus at an angle like this versus up like this. Okay, when you hold it down here and kind of rest your hand on the scoreboard, you're going to have more success and you're not going to jump channels, which is easy to do. If we had a tall card that is 4.25 by 11, we would again place it in here, rub some wax paper on there, and we would be scoring that at 5.5. Now, the politically correct question that I was talking to you about, and I'm really being kind of silly about that because I've been getting a lot of questions about which way do you fold your cardstock once you've scored it. Well, in my personal opinion, I don't think it really matters, but we're going to do a little demonstration here to find out perhaps I'm wrong. You guys know, right, that I've been wrong in the past. More than once, more times than I care to tell you about. Okay, so here's our cardstock. Now, I have heard that when you score a piece of cardstock, it leaves the valley in there on the side that you score it on. And this side you can see is not a valley, it's raised, so that would be called a mountain. So when you put your cardstock in your paper score and you score it, you've got a valley here. I've been told the correct, politically correct way, and politically correct is totally my word because I'm being silly. The correct way to fold your card once you've scored it is backwards. Back. You're going to fold it back. So here's our indented or our valley score line. You're going to fold it back like this. And then, of course, you always want to take your bone folder and give it a good crisp fold. And I think you can all agree that this looks like a wonderful score line, right? Now, the part about folding it back, I wanted to give that a test. So here I've got my valley. This is where I scored it with my cardstock facing this way. What happened if we folded it forward? Let's take a look. We're going to fold it forward and we're going to press it with our bone folder. Do you see any difference? I see absolutely no difference. Let's look inside. When we look inside, okay, that looks okay to me. Does this one look any different than that one? Yeah, not really, right? So, when you have that question, which way should you fold your cardstock once you've scored it? My answer to you is, it doesn't matter. All of that to tell you, it just really doesn't matter. Both of these look fantastic. So there we go. Then I promised you that I would show you a little project with scoring. So hang tight. I am going to bring in my Simply Scored tool, and I've got my wax paper here. I'm just going to rub it on 2 pieces of Coastal Cabana cardstock. Now, this first piece is 7 3/8 by 2 3/4, and we're going to pop that in there. We're going to use the smaller end. This is cardstock, so we want to use the smaller end of our scoring tool, and we are going to score this at 3, 3 1/2, and 6 3/4. Okay, just like that. Can you see this? Yeah, I've got sunshine kind of cracking in through my window. Let me see if I can turn some lights on. That may make that a little less glaring. No, it's that time of day, and it is very sunny here today in Menasha, Wisconsin. This piece of cardstock is 2 3/8 by 5 3/4, and we are going to score it at 2 1/4, 2 1/2, and 2 3/4, and then again at 5, 5 1/4, and 5 3/4. All of these measurements will be shown on my blog. You can click right up here. That'll take you to my blog. If you want to find the exact blog post, look under the YouTube description. It'll be in there to take you right to that blog post. Otherwise, you can scroll down until you find this little project. Okay, now that we've got that done, we're going to take our bigger piece and we're just going to fold forward on all of these score lines. Hang on, I got something sticking to me here. Oh, it's a little bit of tear tape. And make sure you burnish these good with your bone folder. Now, you're like, bone folder? If you don't have a bone folder, you definitely need one. This is a must-have for every paper crafter. Gives you those nice, crisp lines. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, feel free to hop onto my blog. You'll find an online ordering button in the right-hand side, the right-hand column on my blog, and you can order yourself a bone folder. So now on this smaller piece where it's got the 3 score lines in a row, we're going to zigzag back and forth, and we're going to create mountains and valleys. And I'll show you this in just a minute. I know I'm going really fast, but this part's kind of boring until I hold it up for you. So hang tight. Back and forth on this one. And one more time. There we go. Okay, so once you're done scoring this, it's going to look like this. And once you're done scoring this, it's going to look just like this. Okay, we are going to use tear and tape. And I like to use tear and tape on any type of a fun fold that may pop apart on me. I just find that it works the best. So on this end where we have the 3 1/4-inch pieces, on the outside you're going to put your tear and tape right on this little tab. And then I'm just going to trim this off a little bit so it's not sticking out over the edge. Okay, then I've got my take your pick tool. I like to use that to get the backing off because my fingernails are kind of thick and I have a hard time with that. And we're going to put this back together just like that, and then we're going to glue this to it. You want to make sure you've got it nice and even here so it makes a nice little pocket like that. Okay, then I'm going to take this little pocket and I'm going to place it in this outside cardboard or cardstock piece just like this. Okay, and you can grab any old stapler. We're going to staple this to this front tab only. So I've got it positioned in there. You kind of want to bend it a little bit so you're not pushing it down too far. And we're going to just staple that in place. Don't worry about it being in the center or whatever, because when you're done, it's not really going to matter. And then the next thing that I like to do kind of to secure this, and so this little pocket thing doesn't flop around, is just add a little bit of tear tape to the back of it. Just like that. There we go. And you're like, Kelly, What did you just make? I just made a little matchbook, okay? And this holds Ghirardelli candies. So I got these Ghirardelli candies that Mary Olson brought me for Easter, or maybe they were for Steve, but I stole them, Mary, just so you know. And this fits in there perfectly. Now, I got this idea. Now, what about this ugly staple? You're like, Kelly, that staple's sticking out. It's not even centered. What's up with that? Well, let me show you what my demonstrator friend Barbara Pike gave me at the most recent On Stage in Minneapolis. Look at this cutie patootie. Here's your little matchbook. It's all decorated up with the Sweet Treats bundle of products. She used a little piece of designer series paper here. Look at those sweet little suckers. She's got a little label in here, and this one is dark chocolate sea salt caramel. Oh my Lord, right? How cute is this? And that's how you make it. So I think we've solved our questions about scoring and being politically correct with scoring. And our conclusion was, doesn't matter. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend it with me. You want to click down here to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You don't want to miss anything I have coming out. Click right up here to head over to my blog if you would like to place an order for any products. I always appreciate your orders. And I hope you've enjoyed my, Wednesday tip video. Check back with me tomorrow. I've got a blog hop for the paper pumpkin. You're going to love it. This paper pumpkin kit is so beautiful. Okay, have a good Wednesday. Bye-bye.